The Shadowera stream. Today is another dev day. We had a bit of a break because of the regionals on the weekend. But something to announce, of course. Test server is now out to the public. Anyone can click on this. Go to test.shadowera.com. Obviously, won't. I guess you can't click on that because you won't see this until you're running the test server version. But go to test.shadowera.com. You can download for PC or Android and iOS test flight. It's going to be available in the next day or so. Basically, it's a standalone version that operates separate from the live server. So the test server you get for free 4 copies of every card, including all the new campaign cards. So we really want people to test out the game, see if there's any balance issues, check for bugs. We are offering again 1 free pick a card for any bug reports. Now this test server version includes all the stuff that I was recently working on in our dev days, including the new and improved, or somewhat improved, pop-up system. Now if you'll notice, it keeps the pop-up even when cards are being drawn. It'll go over the cards. But there is some problem that I kind of mentioned last time. I had a bad feeling that it might happen. It is possible for the pop-up to get stuck, and I found out how to reproduce it. Basically, it's giving an event when you hover and when you unhover. Basically on hover, true if it's on the object, false if it's off. But sometimes if you, for example, drag the card, you drag the card over something else, there, and you let it go, there it is. Now even though I'm hovering over some other stuff, it's still showing me Corrupted Angel until I go into Corrupted Angel and then out. It's obviously not getting that message that it should have, because it's on a different card. So when you let go on a different card is the problem. It's not getting that message. So we'll have to take a look at our code, what we did last time. Basically, this is what we added last time. This currently hovering. What it's supposed to do, this is supposed to always happen when you go over or not. It gets fired once, but sometimes it misses the false version, so it doesn't set this to false. And so this is not called. What we're going to have to do is check every time that it's true and make sure that the mouse is still over the card. Just going to go into this function here. Actually, not the out, go into this one. This normally is what happens when the mouse is over a card. Here's the pop-up stuff. Showing the pop-up. Late update. So late update is like update, but it happens after everything is rendered and everything. It's kind of like at the very end of a frame. Yeah, this is the code that I wanted here. This is taking a mouse position, converting it to array, which basically goes from the screen down into the 3D world. Just gonna copy this code right here. So back to here. If we're currently hovering, double check by casting array. Now obviously this is going to be a little bit expensive. It's not something that you want to do for 200 cards, but if this is set, you can do it once a frame is fine. Don't need any of this. So this hit should actually say what it collided with. Or the collider that was hit. So the collider is attached to a game object. So if it's equal to our game object of the card, so if it's equal to our game object, then it's actually okay. If not, then we're gonna stop doing this. And we're gonna call this. We must have missed that event. Let's see if that fixes that bug. I drag, I go over here. Yep, it's not happening. Let's try it when I have a. It's my turn. So last time, if I click and I drag over here and let go, yep, it's on to Shaven. Looks good. If I click and drag, and let go, yep. Looks like it's fixed. Let's just play a little bit. Make sure everything's still okay. Killer Bee. The main thing that's really great about this is that even when the AI is performing actions or drawing cards, now you can always see the hover when you want it. That's going to be great for when I'm streaming games. Looks like it's fixed. Just gonna complete this mission so I don't have to skip that dialogue every time. Yeah, this is feeling a lot better with the hovers. Yep, that was great. Okay, that is working great. Now the other thing that has caused a lot of debate in Shadow Heir Land, what should happen, I guess not with Zaladar, but what should happen if you have an ability, not with Not initiative, but I mean with Zaladar I want. If you have an ability that's targeted and a weapon, if you drag the hero, should it use the weapon? Should it use the ability? It's kind of inconsistent. I'm gonna have to switch to a hero like Zaladar that has like a zapping ability. Don't actually have any Zaladars. If you make one quick. Oh, I can't even load starter deck if I don't have it. Of course I can go to the merchant. There we go. This is a recent addition as well. Kind of highlights. It's more, a little bit more interesting if you see a card highlighted. Might be a little bit too much on the highlight. Oh, I have a Zaladar deck. Thank you. So what I want to show, let me just hide my taskbar taking up the room. Let's say I had resources to zap somebody. Obviously, if I drag, it's got to do the ability. But if I had a weapon, now I can attack and use the weapon. Before, if I dragged, it would have always defaulted to the weapon. But if you're playing Zaladar, you're kind of trained like you're gonna drag to use the ability. And so I changed it to drag to use the ability, because the ability doesn't exhaust the hero. You'd still be able to use the weapon after. And there's been a lot of suggestions how you should sort of change the system to be more consistent and avoid errors. And I think the one I liked the most was dragging the weapon to attack. So if you can attack with the weapon would be highlighted. And it's actually the weapon that attacks, just like an ally, and then the hero would sort of come with the weapon. Right now you have to click on it, then do ability, or do attack if you want to attack, and it's kind of clunky. If they were always separated, it'd be really easy. Drag for ability, drag for attack. So it's actually gonna be quite a bit of work, I think, to make the weapon attack. Starting with, of course, what card is highlighted. Right now we can't drag it because it's not highlighted. I'll have to dig into that code. So obviously it's in Game Manager. I'm sure it's something like can attack. Or perhaps it's in the Shadow Era card. Can attack. Can attack. Yeah, so here's the first thing. Basically, it's saying that a hero can attack. Unless there's a special card saying that it can't attack. So that's for the hero. Okay, so we have to actually check the weapon to enable a weapon to be highlighted. Is the first thing. I think it's get action ready cards, something like that. Where would that be? I'm gonna search for it. A model, that's where it is. This is the magic function that decides what cards so allies can attack, and abilities. And here's the weapon or armor right there. Basically, it's just adding it to the highlighted cards list. Right here, hero can attack if he has a weapon. This is what I'm gonna change. I'm not gonna highlight the hero. I'm gonna highlight the weapon. Now this is, I'm probably not going to go through with this like on the live server. This has to be tested pretty well. So that's why I made a separate branch in Git so that all the changes that I'm doing today won't necessarily go to the live version unless I manually merge the Git branches. So I'm free to experiment. Luckily, instead of the hero, I'm going to add the weapon. So it's can attack. Kind of all linked together. Right here is get weapon. I'm not changing too much. Like I don't want to change this can attack function right now. I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to set it to highlight the weapon. It's actually get hero. It's getting the weapon for the hero. Now that's gonna actually highlight a weapon. Now we still have to change what happens when you actually drag the weapon. Dragging, of course, is done in card object. On drag. Some items. So it's checking if it's highlighted. So it is highlighted. We can drag. So this can attack. We kind of have to check the weapons can attack. So I'm going to check this as if it's a weapon card now. Health of a weapon is going to be 0. So this is can attack is going to be false. Going to be a little bit more difficult than anticipated. I still kind of want for now the hero to be set that he can attack, but I also want the weapon. It has to be up here, check if it's a weapon. And if it is the current hero's weapon. card is the current hero's weapon. We also have to do this. This should never be in here. It should actually be in the card script. But for now, we'll just copy this code. So it's checking this armor. It says that you can't use weapons. If we have this armor, we cannot attack with the weapon. Otherwise, you can. Now it's the weapon that can actually attack. So back to card object. The weapon can attack. It's not in hand. Now this is still talking about dragging the hero. Hero can attack. So this is if you're dragging the hero, this stuff is called. So we kind of want to do the same with the weapon. But we're looking for this can use weapon. It's basically setting flags if it can use the weapon or not. If it's an item. So this is saying normally if there's, it's going to be if you drag an item, normally it's using an ability. But we want a different thing if it's a weapon. Just gotta put something in here. If it is a weapon, we're gonna do something else. Also, if it's a normal item, we don't want to drag. So this will allow me to drag with the weapon, I believe. Probably gonna have to step through it if something doesn't work, because there's a lot of things in here. Let's just check to see if the weapon gets highlighted and I can actually drag the weapon. Give myself a frying pan. Cast it. I can use the weapon. So the hero is not highlighted. The weapon is highlighted. But I can't actually drag it. But it is highlighted, showing that I can attack instead of the hero. Just the dragging that doesn't work. Probably am gonna have to step through it to see why. Probably in here that when you first press down, you also have to check. Yeah. It's probably something in here. There's, oh geez, there's a lot in here. We have to sort of tell it when you first press down that it's okay to drag it. Gonna have to step through this now. So this is a hero. That's okay. Says is it in your hand? Huh, okay. That looks fine on drag. What I'm going to do is start debugging so I can step through this function and see exactly where it's failing. Wait for it to rebuild. Alright, so I'm gonna try not to drag on a card until I get to that point that I want to. Sacrifice. Give me resources and give me frying pan. Cast it. Alright, so I have resources to use the ability. Now if I drag the frying pan, here we go. So it did call into here. Let's see where it goes. It's going in here. So far it's okay. Targeting, it doesn't have targeting. So it is an item weapon, so it does nothing. So we set dragging. We call it starting drag. So all that was actually fine. Let's see what happens in starting drag. There's a whole nother set of yeah, there we go. Whole nother set of function that I didn't consider yet. Okay, let's stop this. Let's get rid of that music. It's gonna be annoying. So starting drag. So this is if it's attack or an ability. So this is what we did before. Right here, we changed the default. It's not gonna happen anymore with the hero. But baby steps, right now I just wanna say if we're dragging a weapon. Right about here. Let's just say if it's the subtype is weapon. So if dragging a weapon, we want to show the attack. Okay. it's gonna be is attacking, show attack. So there we go. It's gonna be attack. But it's the wrong card. We don't wanna attack with the weapon. This is how the game syncs. I guess if we sync it now instead of attacking with the hero, it's gonna send the command that it's attacking with the weapon. So I'll have to verify that later, that on the other side, attacking with the weapon actually works. We also start attack with the weapon. It's another function we have to consider. So it gets attack targets for the card. See, I kind of want to short circuit all this. I don't want to change too much underlying it. I just want you to drag and not change all this stuff. I don't want to change a million functions. So I might trick it just in here that if we're attacking with the weapon, attack with the weapon, I'm just gonna do all this stuff with the hero. It'd be just as if we drag the hero, but I want the targeting lines to come off the weapon. I'm gonna get the hero for the card and send that instead of the actual weapon. So technically, if it's recording the hero, it is compatible with older versions because they're gonna get this when they sync multiplayer. They're gonna get the recorded move that the hero attacked, and all the game logic is still gonna be like it was before. It's just that we're dragging the weapon now instead. That's about it. Now let me see if that works. We can still drag the hero to attack. I'm gonna disable this eventually. Let's just go baby steps. All right, frying pan, we can cast it. And it's highlighted, means we can attack with it. So when we drag it, it's here. Well, that's interesting, kind of. That's kind of an unexpected thing, but it is doing what we told it to do. I wonder if that'll work. So if you have a frying pan and I drag it, and then the targeting lines could just come off of the hero? That might be cool. So let me think about this. If I drag frying pan, and then if the targeting lines were coming from Zaladar to there, and then you let go, that might be cool. Yeah, that might be cool. I'm gonna try that. So right now it's messing up. It's calling the start attack function with the hero, which makes the hero go to this spot and highlights them and everything. If I do it that way, it still works, but when I did it with the frying pan, it didn't work because the charging lines were coming from the frying pan. And we didn't do the end of the drag, so we're just so far we're working on the start of the drag, starting drag, and then the middle. You're actually dragging. You have to work on when you stop dragging too. Here's this thing: start targeting lines. I don't want to call that on the hero. I'm gonna put this in here. And call this on the hero. The card object, the hero. I wonder if it's on the base, so I could just do get component, object, component. I don't want to do this every frame, but one time is okay. Start targeting lines. And then when we stop, click on mouse up. Kind of like setting the target. Did you have a drag script? This is going to be on the wrong game object. I think it's actually going to come in here because it's on the wrong object. We'll just consider that in a moment. Got a lot of old code here that I want to get rid of so that we're not confused. But here's the magic. Not worried about sacrifice. Not worried about action as if you're like casting something. Here it is, target. So the attacker is not actually us, because we're dragging the weapon, but the attacker is still the hero. But it's similar to this. Multiple targets. Not going to be multiple targets. All right, so here is all the magic. Oh man, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. What I kind of want to do is make a special case up here. If we're dragging, it's basically this. We're in the target, and we are the weapon of the attacker. I'm gonna do something special and stop doing anything else. What we want to do, I need to refract, I need to Need to refactor this for sure. I gotta make a whole nother function because this is just insane. I'm gonna clean it up later, but here. Just so we don't mess anything else up. Here's another array. Basically, it's saying get whatever's under us. We need all of this. That's a lot. Just gonna go through and make sure that it is all valid. Again, just cancel targeting. It's gonna be, the attacker's gonna be the hero. All this stuff is just special cases. If you drag off of it, we are just gonna stay in here. Don't need any of this junk. All right, and this is setting the target. It's in the graveyard. Special case. Now let me go through this one more time. Getting everything that it collided with, and we're checking highlighted cards. Self-click. So if we're not clicking on ourselves, I think there's like some English problems here. Attacked cards. Setting the target index. Okay, that should be okay. I think it's like 50-50 chance it'll work because that's a lot of code. One wrong line and it won't work. I'm gonna drag the weapon and the hero will come up and have the targeting line. Frying pan. It came up, but we don't have a targeting line. I can't get a targeting line off of him now. That didn't work. Cancel. Drag. Well, that time it worked. Didn't work the other time. Drag. Oh, there's like some case that it didn't work. Let me try a little drag. Why didn't it work the first time? Okay, so there is something about pre-warming. Something I know that it's in there somewhere. It might be causing it. Only the first time it's not working. Yeah. And when we do the target, didn't work the first time. A few bugs there. I need to debug this. Other bug was almost up. Almost down. Okay, one thing at a time. Let me do that almost up. We will make sure it goes into here. Let's start debugging first. Didn't want that yet. Hey, Joker, so here's the new system. Have a weapon, you have to drag the weapon to attack. Just working on that. So drag the weapon. So now I'm not getting targeting lines. Until I click... No, until I click from him. Yeah, now it's not even giving me targeting lines. Oh, it's giving me an error, that's why. Let's not maximize it. Right. 109. Drag script. Card doesn't have this drag script on it yet. There it is. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. First mouse down, so I didn't mouse down on the hero yet, so this isn't called on the hero yet. It's a weapon. We also have to do this on the hero so that he has a drag script. We don't want to actually drag the hero, but we need to set this thing. I don't know why it's not set always. I'm just going to do that for now and clean it up later. That was causing a bug that didn't allow the dragging to work. Hit the bug again. Let's just stop it. I'll look down here for make sure that there's no errors. So now when you have a weapon, you're not supposed to drag the hero, you're supposed to drag the frying pan. That brings up the hero, but there's still an error there. 417. So card trend isn't set. They should all be set at the start. Come on. One mouse up, it gets set. One mouse down, it gets set. So it's never gonna change. I don't know why it should be set and on start. Don't think that'll break anything. Just a few variables aren't set when I'm sort of bypassing a click on the hero, but I still want to draw a charging line from the hero. So a few things aren't initialized properly. Okay, one more time, frying pan. Cast it. Drag it. There we go. Targeting line. So it's just the mouse up that's still a problem, but it's doing the targeting line now. So we drag the weapon and you get a targeting line. That's kind of cool, isn't it? I think that'll work out. Instead of dragging the hero, we drag the hero, it means an ability, because look, there's an ability right on his card. A weapon you want to attack, you drag the weapon. If only that last part worked. We are debugging, so we can put a breakpoint on that mouse up to see what's going on. Actually not, no. Okay, so ready? Drag, mouse up. There you go. So we turn off dragging. Oh, that's the problem that I said, because we don't have targeting lines on ourselves. Yeah. That's what I said. Actually, this could just be moved up there. So a slight change of plans when we are, let me turn this off. When we are dragging the weapon, we're not going to find targeting lines because it's on the hero. But maybe this is where we need this. we can put it up here. We don't want to, it's not moving. Basically, if we're targeting and we have a weapon, then we call the function. I'm just wondering all this other stuff. Ignore drag or did card move? I think we have to check. Ugh. Kind of want the same code, but call it on the hero. So it's getting more difficult here. So if this stuff, so this is going to be a special case just for a weapon in here, and then otherwise it's going to be normal stuff. I want to mess up every other card. I'm gonna copy this. In here. And we don't want it on ourselves, we want to check the hero. The hero doesn't have targeting lines on him because we still want to sort of click on the weapon to make it come up, so that'll still work. And then otherwise, if we're dragging it, if we're in the target state, here, did everything we needed to. This is a weird statement here. You do it's like that, okay. Turn the special case, don't want to do any of the normal stuff. So this hopefully will let us still click on the card. And then if not, we're gonna call that. Let me try that. Turns out there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. Changing the core behavior of the UI is not easy. Just gotta see that normal functions still work. Clicking on a card still works. Dragging to attack still works. Let's try our frying pan. Oh my god, it worked. I have to check on clicking when you can attack. Let's see if I can just click on it once and it comes up, but there's no attack button. Normally, you click on something, it would have attack. Oh, now Zaladar doesn't have attack, but the weapon doesn't have attack either. What if there was an ability and an attack? So, if there's an ability on the weapon and attack for weapon, it's going to default to attack, just like an ally. That makes more sense. So it's over here. Anything that you drag over here is attacking. Anything you drag at the hero is an ability. That works pretty good. I like that actually. Drag. So you just drag this and then the hero automatically gets it. That's cool. I like that. That's ingenious. So all we have to do now, well, not all, but one more step, is when you click on something, you saw the hero doesn't show attack, but there has to be an attack button on the weapon. Yikes, attack button now. Okay, how do you show attack button? I have no idea where that is. Obviously, it's that show card function that I saw. Or card click, that's it, card click. What does card click do? Show card, that's what I was thinking. Oops. Definition, show card, what does show card do? Okay, card info panel. That's the pop-ups for like if it has explaining what defender is or stuff like that. This isn't gameplay. I think it's player controller, it must be. Player controller is in charge of showing things. Here's the buttons, yep. It sort of adds the buttons. So, action, there it is, show attack. Here's another place where we have to set this up. And when I was trying not to change too much of the functions, but just add to it. So we're gonna add if it's a weapon. I even forgot what direction I changed stuff. Can attack. Yeah. So a weapon can attack now. If it's the weapon of the current hero. Because it's not so it only checks allies can attack. So we're gonna do weapon. That's a weapon. Then basically this exact same stuff. Then we're gonna show the attack button. Now, what happens when you click on that attack button is something else entirely. Action phase. Thanks. So here it is again. Actually, that's all attack. Has to be in here. Click on a weapon, we're going to show the attack. And determines if there's two buttons or one button. So this is the spot where we have to say, do we want it to click this if it's actually a weapon? If the weapon that was showing the buttons would use something, otherwise we do this thing. The weapon, we record the move as if it was the hero. I'm just thinking now this might mess up AIs that don't have a hero. If they steal a weapon somehow, it might cause it to blow up. But I'll think about that later. Start attack with the hero. I think that's it. Let me see if the buttons work now. And cast it. There's the attack button. It worked. Hero does not have it. Cannot drag the hero. Can drag the frying pan and the hero comes out just like it used to. Cancel that. And when we drag the frying pan, you can see down here it recorded the move attack 1 with Zaladar. So let's see if it's the same thing when we press the button attack. There we go. Attack with Zaladar, and Zaladar comes up. Who do you want to attack, Zaladar? This guy. That works perfectly. See, What happens when there's a combination of abilities and weapons? So we get another frying pan. Attack. What if I have more resources? Ooh, now if I drag frying pan, means attack. Cancel it. If I drag Zaladar, it's the ability. That's pretty cool. What if I click on him? He still has the attack. Actually, that's fine, right? Because people that are used to doing that can still click on attack with Zaladar and he can attack. Or Frying Pan can attack. What is a weapon with an ability? A weapon with an activated ability. Let me go to ShadowArrow.com. Go to the card list. Check out some weapons. Where's the weapons? Armor, weapons. Does any of these have... There we go. Beetle Demon Bow. Wrath of Summer is like the better example. Wrath of Summer. Let's try Wrath of Summer. Wrath of Summer is a more complicated example. When you drag Wrath of Summer, it's attack. That makes sense. If you want to use the ability, just like before, it doesn't show ability, it only shows attack. So why is that changing? Because it didn't used to show two buttons. I used to only show one button on the item. So we have to fix that so that now there'd be an ability and attack. But just like before, items you never could drag to use an ability. If this before, you could not drag it. If you try to drag it, it would go like this and you'd use ability. Now it's attack. So, only thing left is ability button there. Oh, it still doesn't do it. Huh. Oh, because it's targeting opponent ally. Maybe that's why. Let's give him an ally and see if it works. Wasn't paying attention. There's an opposing ally. Now let's see if it does work. Okay. You drag means attack. If you want to use an ability, you click on it. Ability for one shadow energy. Who do you want to target? This guy. It does work. Okay. I think it's perfect now. What do you think? I actually like that. Dragging a weapon to attack. Probably have to test it out in more situations just to make sure nothing weird is going on, but that's what the test server is for. So I can use an ability or attack. If I drag this ability, what I'm supposed to do is drag this to attack. That's awesome. I think I like that the best. Best of both worlds, right? Can still do this for attack or ability. I like it. I like it. And as far as I know, it's gonna sync up fine, but of course I'll test that later. Those were the two issues. Hovering, it's working great now. And the drag weapon to attack. That's about all the time I have for today. Hope you guys check out the new test server, test.shadowarrow.com. Check out all the new campaign cards. Let me know if you come up with any good decks. And until tomorrow, thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.